Woo! What is going on, Ramley? What's up, Los Angeles? We are live, the LA Football Network, ready to get into this huge Rams win, doing a crossover show at the LA Football Show. I'm your host, Ryan Dyrud. Joining me from the Rams brothers, Mr. Optimistic himself, Nick Vespe. What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's up? It's great to be here. America's favorite Rams brother. Things are things are
Keep
good
your
on
feet
this.
grounded. That's all. You just keep your feet grounded.
I don't try to play into the Hollywood stereotypes at all. I know exactly what I'm good at, and I know it's the hot good takes. And I think the hot good takes right now, I'm going to get them out of the oven.
Okay.
The Rams are a Super Bowl team. Let's start it off like that, because that's how I
He's
feel.
back.
Because I feel I am back in. I am so sold on what this Rams team just showed us. From the defense to the offense to every little piece, even special teams until the very end, did a great job. And how can you not be all aboard the Rams train right now? That's my question to you. I'm gonna throw it back to you.
Well, we're gonna get all into it, but what
should I do this now or should we do it later? Because I lost this bet.
Okay, so for those that don't know, during Nick, what was it? 3 plays into the game, I think. Basically, it was like this game already feels over, feels out of reach. Our guy Cam DeSilva from the Rams Wire was like, "Yeah, I think I'm in agreement there." First time.
Yeah, now all of a sudden he's joined the curmudgeon side. He's like, you know what, Nick, we're all Grinches this Christmas.
Yeah, but then things started to turn, and so I hit up my guy Nick here, and I was like, "Hey, let's put a little wager on this. If the Rams win, since you're saying they're going to lose, you shotgun a beer. If they lose, I'll shotgun." Well, obviously the Rams come out, so Nick, being a man of his word, being a man of integrity, a man of honesty, is here to shotgun. When do you want to do it? Do you want to get out of the way now? Do you want to roll it through the show? What do you feel?
I would like to do it now as you read Matthew Stafford's stat line of the night, if that's possible. Just at least completions, yards, and TDs. I think that's all I need.
How about I get an ad read in? That'd be easy. We'll get an ad read in while you're shotgunning. So
all right. So tell me when to start.
Okay. You can okay, right when I say who the sponsor is, start.
Okay.
So unfortunately he's not drinking the correct beer, but this segment of the LA Football Show is brought to you by Golden Road Brewery, our friends, the best beer in the Southlands. They got locations in Los Angeles, Anaheim, and Huntington Beach. They got the Rams house or the Who's house, Golden Out. Look at that. Did you drink it out beforehand? Don't lie to me. That was gorgeous.
I'm a man of my word.
That was like you were still in college. Well done.
Well, I'm not. I'm 27. So thanks for bringing that up.
Well, hey, you look like it. I would have been spilling all over myself, half drinking, spilling.
I know. I got a new haircut. I know everybody telling me I'm looking young, but that's not what this podcast is about, Ryan. Let's keep it. The Christmas card beer. Christmas card beer from Golden Road is truly amazing. So
it actually is really, really good. So I was at Ralph's the other day, today. I feel like I'm at Ralph's every freaking day. My wife sends me there.
More of a Vaughn's man myself, but
okay. Well, I like Vaughn's. Ralph's just happens to be the neighborhood store nearby. But I was in Ralph's in the beer section, and they had Golden Road Ram. They had Who's House there, so they actually sell the Rams beer at Ralph's. They had the Christmas cart. They had mango cart. It was all there, so you can get it right at Ralph's. Tell them the guys at LFB sent you. There you go. You did it so fast that the ad ran long. So well done. All right, you want to hear this? You want to hear this Stafford stat line? Is that what you want to hear?
Before we get into stat lines and the nitty gritty of why this team did so well, I think it should be known that I myself, Nick Vez of Rams Brothers the Pod, placed a bet that OBJ was going to be the first touchdown scorer for this game. But I also let it be known, Rams Nation, I didn't have faith in this team. I bet on the Cardinals -3 as well. So I was really I was for sure living in a reality where this Rams team wasn't good enough to beat like a Cardinals team at home when they can clinch a playoff spot. And boy, was I wrong, and boy, am I happy about it, because Aaron Donald is the heart and soul of this team. And to see him end the game with waves and bye-bye, and he's front and center. It felt
so
like it was just a perfect moment in the Rams franchise, and I'm fully back on because everybody proved in this game that we're not going down, and we have a lot of good pieces that can contribute to a Super Bowl caliber team.
Yeah, I talked just today, Nick, on my preview show.
Wrap it up in a bow. I thought that was a great bit out of me.
That was great. We're gonna pull that for the clip to promo it later. But I was talking, before the game preview show, and I was saying, this is, in my opinion, a Super Bowl team. They just haven't played like it. I know that's such a weird answer because obviously you have to play like it in order to be one, but they have the pieces. They have the coaching staff. They have a player at every position that is a star player in this league. They just hadn't put it all together. And so this was a game where we could gauge, like, is this team actually going to put it together in time, or is it going to take another offseason, which I don't know if they'll have all these pieces next year. And tonight they proved that they can put it all together in prime time against a good team. What do you think it was about this game specifically where they put things together with 5 starters out on COVID, not to mention other injuries, guys out on IR, but just the COVID list, 5 starters out. So what was it? Let's start with the offense. I don't want to throw you everything broad scale. Let's start with the offense.
What I was going to say was going to be offensive based anyway. So
yeah,
you're on the right track.
How did it get clicking? Because I mean, I have my reason, but I'll let you start and then I'll follow up. What made the offense tick today that it hasn't done in recent weeks?
Well, I think when you have restrictions, sometimes when your back is against the wall, you provide the best version of yourself. I don't know if anybody's watching this Beatles documentary, Get Back, on Disney Plus, but my God, is it amazing. And my God, does Paul McCartney keep quoting, like, he gives them a date. It's like, we have 2 weeks to create an album and make a show. And when our backs are against the walls, that's when we're the best. Like putting them almost in IR, putting some of their key players in IR, metaphorically speaking. And then you lose Henderson and Ramsey, and you're like, oh my God, some of these people are going to need to step up. And you give this platform to Sonny Michel, Super Bowl caliber running back, as he has proved, and you let him flourish in it. And because of the opportunity presented by whatever there may be, somebody shows themselves as a hero. And I believe that's what Sonny Michel has done on this Rams team.
Well, when that trade happened, Nick, it was like, I think most people would agree it was a good trade. Yeah, at face value. At times, like, okay, yeah, we need the depth. Cam Akers go down.
Gave away essentially nothing for him.
Yeah, they basically get it back in comp picks or whatever. So it was like, yeah, face value, good. But now that we're seeing that they were forced finally to utilize him as the true number 1 back, since Henderson's now been out 2 weeks, you can see how differently this offense flourished. And it shows, and I don't want to be this knocking on Darrell Henderson, because I know there's a split among Rams fans anyway on him. But to me, Darrell Henderson has always been a change of pace, not set the tone, a guy that comes in for 10 to 12 plays a game and can kind of break things open for you. He's not a starting caliber ground and pound, run the ball down your throat back. That's just it's not why they drafted him. That's why they drafted Cam Akers just a year later, because they knew Darrell Henderson wasn't that
Help me
guy.
Help me out here. Dean would kill me because I can't remember his name, but there was a running back behind Gurley that would always punch it in.
Like Malcolm Brown or
Malcolm Brown. Thank you.
Brown,
yes, it was Malcolm Brown, and that's who Henderson always kind of was. And to have Malcolm Brown, aka Darrell Henderson, be your key back, it was never a successful story. But then somehow Sonny Michel prospers and becomes the hero that we needed him to be at the right time of the season. And all of a sudden, the Rams have a really good run game, and they're in these games.
Well, and so tonight, 20 carries for 79 yards, but you see the type of runs he gets off. Like he had that one really good. Yeah. Like he had that one good outside zone run. There was like a 19-yard run.
Second and 19, Henderson, sorry. Michael comes in and like rips off like 10, and you're like, oh, okay, third and manageable. Like it's a whole and then they get it. And, it's all about the momentum, and he was doing a great job of keeping it all night.
And what's exciting is, I remember watching him at Georgia when he was a first-round pick after that, and the style of runner he was a very patient, could hit the hole hard, but also a big guy that could break tackles. And Darrell Henderson hasn't really been able to break tackles at the point of attack. He's your slasher. He can break things open when he's out there in certain situations. Michel, there were some runs today that were like 3-4 yard runs. They were a thing of beauty though, because he's hitting the backfield and turns it into 3-4 yards. And you're not sitting at second and 14. You're sitting at 2nd and 6.
He gets the stiff arm. He always gets that first stiff arm, and he keeps running. Yeah. Yeah. Having him as the number one and answering that question because of difficulties losing people tonight is a little bit of like a miracle, because I don't think they would have presented him that way because they thought Henderson was the guy. But I think Sonny just kind of steps up more in these key situations, and he's been there before. And that experience in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl means a lot. Yeah.
Well, and now that's back-to-back weeks where not another running back has got a carry other than Sonny Michel. Van Jefferson had 1 carry tonight on a little
for 10 yards.
For 10 yards. Yeah, a little jet sweep there. Gotta love that. But Sonny's been the guy back-to-back weeks, the only running back with carries. And then we'll lead into this, Nick, because I'm always curious in your thoughts on our number 9. Number 1 in my heart, number 2 in yours. But when you have a running game,
number like 16 in mine, in my top 15.
Okay. All right. There you go. Not your MySpace 8, but your top 15. We'll call it good. When you have a running game though, it allows Matthew Stafford
not my MySpace 8
unleashed. Yeah. Is MySpace still around?
Definitely not. Justin Timberlake bought it, but he was not able to continue the legacy.
Did he really?
Anyway, no, he did. I remember there was a Super Bowl commercial about Justin Timberlake purchasing MySpace, but obviously it never landed an audience. But anyway, that was just a great callback, great reference by you. Everybody knows you give the best references.
I don't know about that, but thank you. But I was just saying that the running game, when you actually have one and Sean McVay sticks to it, I think it just opens things up for Matthew Stafford, which I know you guys have talked about your show. I've talked about on mine all year, how important that is to get that going, because it doesn't put so much pressure on Stafford to be the hero and, to force throws. And then, by God, Nick, we see a play action pass and a 52-yard in the air pass beauty from Stafford to Van Jefferson. And that's all because of what they were able to do in the run before. It's like a thing of beauty when the offense actually gets rolling. It's beautiful.
Like, they try to win these games against the Niners or like Tennessee early with like a sneaky deep ball and like, oh, we got up early, now we're going to control it the whole time. They earned that deep ball, Jefferson, Stafford, today.
Yeah.
And they got it so perfectly. And from there, you're standing up the entirety of the rest of that game, as I was, and just like, you're like, yeah, this is it. This is it. This is the team that is going to win today. And they have potential to continue on into the playoffs because they're participating a lot of great players with a lot of great points that they got tonight.
Yeah. And it's so key for this offense to, like with any offense, Nick, let's be real, to get in a rhythm early. And for your quarterback, show me a quarterback. They
slacked early. They slacked early.
In this game, or
it was in this game, because it was the defensive turnaround that gave them the momentum in this game to actually come out on top. They always start slow, and that's something that's been a problem with them to start this whole year. But they were able to figure it out today more than other times when they've started
that's
slow.
fair. But it was just 1 3 and out. It was 1 3 and out, and then after that they scored in 5 straight drives. So yes, but yeah, it'd be nice to see the scripted drives to go better, because usually that's when you should be able to at least move the ball in those first 15 plays, right? But yeah, they countered quickly, and that big turnover, which was, now looking back, I know there's a lot of plays, but it's probably the play of the game, right? That pick in essentially the end zone by Ernest Jones.
Yeah.
And that's basically the play of the game, because otherwise Cardinals would have gone up minimum 6-0, probably 10-0. Instead, Rams get the ball and drive it down the field and score a touchdown and go up 7-3. Huge.
Yeah. Giant moment. And just having a defense that's going to create turnovers, which has been something that they've been slacking of in the key game like this, makes you feel that everything's coming together at the right time. So it's just it feels like a good time to be a Rams fan, Ryan.
Outside of Aaron Donald, who was your MVP of the defense tonight? Because we saw a lot of new faces tonight. Who do you think called out?
Gaines, 91.
Yeah, big game.
How can it not be? The man is 245 and he's running like he has Kazooie shoes in Banjo Kazooie.
No, he's like 345.
Yeah, 345. What did I say? 245? Slip of the tongue. He's giant and he's catching up with Murray. I just that's amazing. He's been amazing all season, and it was great to see a real defensive display tonight. I mean, the offense had to keep up, but the defense still looked great, even though giving up all of the points that they did, which was what, 23? The last three kind of being Fox points, if you really think about it, because they needed that to kind of tie it. So
no, I think there was a lot of, good contributors. That Jordan Fuller had a really solid game, kind of stepping up as, needing to be the leader of that secondary with, Jalen Ramsey out. Ernest Jones, another big game, not even including that interception, but just had his nose all over the place. It was fun seeing Justin Hollins back from injury, in some NASCAR packages, but also, on the outside, spelling Leonard Floyd and Von Miller every now and then.
Floyd with the crucial INT.
Floyd with an INT. Yeah. I mean, it's great when you get your linebackers having 2 picks. Not even in the secondary, your 2 linebackers getting the picks. What's your thought? What was your thoughts on Raheem Morris, though? I try to listen to your show all the time. But I don't always. So
see,
I know
that's fair.
Overall, Rams fans, I think, I don't even would say split. I would say more so against Morris than for. I happen to be 4, but what was your thoughts on just his game plan overall tonight?
See, I think Rams fans are fickle beasts, as I will continue to say in my next podcast with Dean. But I think Morris has honestly been doing a great job with a hodgepodge of amazing talent and trying to figure out where all those pieces go, because I know that can't be an easy task. And I think he's actually been doing a good enough job. The offense has actually been slacking in the games where people think Morris is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he did a really good job tonight to contain Kyler. He's going to get those runs. You have to give them those opportunities because he's going to get them. But they, just to the last play of the game, they applied enough pressure to get to Kyler for Donald to have the game-ending sack. And they were doing that all night, giving him just enough to get in there and make that disruptive play, like blitzing one more extra guy. And I loved it. They did a little contained Zimmer defense in the middle. They thought they had the game locked, but then when they realized they didn't, they switched it up, and I thought they brought some amazing packages to end the game. And like I said earlier, as a Rams fan, to see Donald saying bye-bye in Arizona, that's a t-shirt. That's, that's what you can ask for as a fan. And they provided it tonight. And it's just, it's amazing.
Yeah, make sure to head to the LAFB locker room here in the next few hours. We'll have a t-shirt up with Aaron Donald waving goodbye soon. But no,
I'll draw it. Give me an iPad. I'm in.
There you go. Nickel draw it. So, and I see some questions here in the chat. We'll get to those here in just a second. But
there's no way we have a chat. Are people actually chatting us live right now?
We got a few. Look at
what do they say?
Julio right here saying, "Can we talk about the special teams?" We'll get to that. Don't worry.
Wow.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. But I just want to comment back because I think Raheem Morris called a phenomenal game with the circumstances, who he was missing. I mean, Jalen Ramsey's. If Aaron Donald's the soul of the defense, Jalen Ramsey's the heartbeat, right? Or if Aaron Donald's the passion, Jalen Ramsey's the head. Like they're
Ramsey's the ego, Donald's the soul. That's my takeaway. But ego is important. But it's not to discredit ego. It's just soul is Trump's ego.
I would say, overall, but it's yin and yang. Both are very integral to how this defense works. And so when you find out hours before you're going to be missing that, that's a huge thing. And you're pulling up guys from their practice squad. I know I saw a lot of hate on Twitter for Kareem Moore. The dude's been on the practice squad. Give the guy a break. Like, he's going up against a great receiving core. I said, I see people saying, like, this guy needs to be cut. Like, you realize where he came from? Like, he should not even be playing right now. But anyway, a lot, and the broadcasters talked about this, so I don't want to sound like I'm building off of what they're saying, but I've been trying to say this too throughout the year. A lot of what you do in scheme wise, defensively, at least in this style of defense, to this 2 high safety defense, 3-4 base scheme, is predicated on kind of what your offense is doing as well, because it's a full team game, and this defense is kind of going to scheme around that. So as soon as the Rams were able to get to a lead on defense, and they were able to, kind of build upon that lead, and so the defense was able to do things differently. They said, you know what, we're going to give you some of these open field, let you drive the field, because you're going to just waste time with the clock. We're going to let you waste the time. We're not giving up the big play. And so I know there are some Rams fans upset because, they're seeing them, well, we're still letting them drive the field too much. They're still getting too many yards. Like, why aren't we just pinning our ears back? And I get that. But at the same time, like, there were a few drives there where the Cardinals drove and took 7 minutes off the clock for a field goal. Sometimes that's a better chess move than risking the 60-yard bomb because you're blitzing 6 guys. So
but
overall,
here's the counter argument to that in defense of Morris. The Rams haven't held the offense hasn't held their end of the bargain, where it's like, I can coach like this and make sure they take a lot of time just to get a field goal, but we have to be doing something on offense. There has to be somewhat of a lead potential. So we're taking up this time for an important reason. Like, let's get our touchdowns in so we can then run this scheme. And there was a good marriage of those, of the offense and defense today that we haven't really seen as much earlier, like in the last month.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. There's definitely been improvements. So what's your thoughts on Ernest Jones? Julio's asking. Says he's gotten better sideline to sideline.
Yeah, positive thoughts. Positive thoughts.
I think he's gotten better.
Yeah,
I think he's become a great starting middle linebacker for this team.
I mean, like, is he a captain? No. Could he make his way there? A couple years, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. The way this team prioritizes linebackers, we'll see. We'll see how long he sticks around. Special teams. You want to get into it? You want to get into special teams?
Well, I mean, Matt Gay deserves the recognition of a Greg the Leg, because that is the level he is playing on, and the last kicker that Rams fans seem to uphold was Greg the Leg, and Matt Gay is providing equal, if not greater than, vibes from Greg in the last couple of years. So
I think he's 25 of 26 this year, I think.
If you're just drilling 53, 55 yarders on the reg, he should be held up higher to a caliber than we have him right now. And I think special teams is something that kind of eats a lot of crow as far as the Rams fans talk about the phases of football. And I think they've been doing a good enough job, and Matt Gay has kind of been, supermaning them to a great job, because overall it's a little it can still be worked on.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not, I don't think it's at this point the worst in the league. It's still you're due your one gap.
No, definitely not the worst.
Yeah, definitely not the worst. The return game's gotten better. I mean, what a signing that was, bringing him in last week, and now we're getting positive return yards. And the end of the game with the onside kick, that's just execution. Guys got to make a play. Fall on the ball.
Hecker punts are a little short.
Yeah, that seems like
something that nobody really wants to address, but I don't have any Hecker sponsors, so I'm just going to go into it, and we all know it's true. Yeah, that's a little, especially last week when we were playing against Green Bay, and the guy that we cut was doing a better job than the guy that we have signed, and it's.
I think what sucks, Nick, is, and this is the part of where when there's fans fans involved,
I know, but
making the decisions,
don't sell me in saving face of a franchise, because if you're all about saving face, you would have never traded Todd Gurley or Jared Goff, just because those are two guys that you have sold the franchise on for the last couple of years. I think they've just proven themselves that they're about winning, and for whatever reason, Hecker gets a pass, and it just feels weird.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what doesn't make any sense, because they do all that, and Corey Borquez was clearly the better punter in training camp and in preseason. But I think what it came down to was risk versus reward. Like, how much worse was Hecker? And they said, okay, he's not, in their opinions, not that much worse. And they were able to trade their punter, their backup, their fighting punter. They got draft capital for him. Remember, they got like a 6th-round pick. So I think they thought we're either going to cut Hecker and roll with the better punter, or we'll keep the little less of a better punter, but he's a team captain. Everyone loves him. And we can actually get draft capital for the other guy. So in that, I kind of get the it, but yeah, it definitely is a bummer when you see that.
They just didn't value the position as much as the skill player.
I mean, let's be real. I don't think Sean McVay thought he was going to be punting at all. I think he just thought they're going to put up 50 points every game. So that's probably the real thing. He's like, I got
Matthew Stafford now. I'm never going to lose.
We don't need a punt.
Yeah. I mean, tonight was one of those nights, though. I mean, Stafford's just looking like a dang hunk all night, drilling it like in between tight coverage. He just put up a great game.
Yeah, no, he looked good. He finished. Let's see here. What is finished?
23 for 30, 287 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Love it. All right, I said before the game, I was like, if he can finish 21 of 28 for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, Rams win, and I'll be ecstatic. There you go. Fairly close.
Yeah.
Fairly close. Establish the run. Take the pressure off Matthew. Cooper Kupp. We got to talk about Cooper Kupp, though. How good is this dude?
Let's talk about OBJ before we talk about Cooper Kupp.
Actually, real quick, before we move on, though, this is what Chris says.
I don't like Nick praising Stafford. He's going to jinx us, LOL. Well, Chris Cortez, hey. I don't know if you want me to go back to my Jared Goff takes, but I think Stafford did a really good job tonight. And if I'm jinxing us, jinx does not exist, and they don't listen to what we're saying right now. So I wouldn't worry about it, Chris.
Yeah. If it was during the game, maybe the jinx.
No, I mean, regardless, like whatever I do does not affect what they do on that field. And I think people need to accept those vibes.
All right, go ahead. OBJ, get into it. Start with him.
Well, I just foresaw in my mind's eye a deep OBJ Stafford OBJ touchdown to start this game. And we didn't quite get that. I saw a panic McVay play early, similar to the one that they did in the Niners game, where he just kind of chucked it up for him. There were 2 defenders back there. Thought they were going to do that early and get it immediately. That didn't happen. Defensive battle. OBJ ends up in the end zone first. And it was just, it worked out really well in my favor tonight. That's all I'll say. Because
with the bet. That's right.
Yes, with the bet. Yeah. OBJ first touchdown scorer.
There you go. Speaking of, another sponsor of the show, MyBookie. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code LAFB, double your welcome bonus. You can make money like Nick does every week betting on stuff like OBJ first score. But no, I think he's been, now that he's learning the offense better, and he's
so happy to be here.
Oh, so happy, dude. You can just tell he's a step. Even during that losing streak, and now they're, just 2 games removed from that losing streak, but you can just tell that they knew in that locker room they were going to get things right. Like, they knew this is not who they are. Yeah, the Niners had their number. That was a bad game. Titans had some uncostly turnovers, which we were both at together. That was a rough game. But they knew the Packers was like an up and down game where, there was times they were in it, they were out of it. They just couldn't really put the full 4 quarters together. They knew they were going to get it back on track. And, the Jacksonville game came at a perfect time when they could really beat up on a bad team. And then now they can really get rolling. And, they got a good one against the Cardinals here. But OBJ, when he is the OBJ we remember from New York, and Nick, I want to get your thoughts on this, because I just remember watching tonight. And watching some of just not even his touchdown. There was an out route he ran. It was like a 10-yard shimmy out to the sideline.
And then he picked up like 20 more.
Not that one. That was a good one too. But it was literally the most simple play. Just a little 10-yard shimmy out, kind of shook the defender, went to the cross, caught it, perfect hands catch, and just went out of bounds. And it's a simple 10-yard out route, but he makes it look so smooth and effortless that you think that one play, you're like, all right, if this guy really gets going, like we remember him from 3 years ago in New York, and you pair that with Cooper Kupp, and you start getting some guys back healthy at tight end, and, Van Jefferson, what he's been able to do. I mean, who would have everyone when they signed OBJ, it was like, oh yeah, he had some good years. We're getting a guy that can come in and be like a number 3 receiver. If he can do that, those little things, those little tactics, we have a number 1 receiver playing a number 3 role, which is huge down the stretch.
Number two. Let's not kid ourselves. He is taking the Woods. He's taking the Woods spot as 2.
Fair, yeah. I mean, he went 6 for 77 tonight. So yeah.
If I kind of want to hanker back to what I was saying earlier, where it's like you have these opportunities because of horrible things that have happened in your path. The Rams, we lost Woods, we lost Henderson, and yet we have amazing people that have been able to pick us up and maybe, even reach new heights that we could have never reached before. Because you have Odell filling the Woods role and you have Michelle filling the Henderson role, and both of them are exceeding expectations. And it's it just feels like everything's coming together at the right time. I know it's early, but it feels really good to be a Rams fan right now because I'm fully in. I am 100% invested in this team. I think they can really do it. And I know people in the chat are probably like, "Oh, don't let them say that right now. I don't like that feeling." But I'm going to say it anyway.
Well, it's not even that early. Only 4 games left. So this is a good time to get hot. This is like the Buccaneers of last year when they were 7-5 and then rattled it all out.
Super Bowl's, by the way, at home.
Yeah, at home here at SoFi. So before we kind of start wrapping things up, what's been your thoughts on Vaughn Miller? How do you think that addition's been? I thought he played great tonight overall.
I think tonight when you have an absence like Ramsey, everybody else has to step up, and I thought Vaughn Miller and Donald both just brought a game on top of Gaines. Really pushed them to the limit in every sense of the phrase, and max enjoyment from a lover of defense to watch that team just continuously stop an amazing offense over and over. Mm-hmm. It's a great night.
Yeah, no, I think Vaughn's been great. He hasn't shown up a ton in the stat sheet. But he's gonna.
If you get a win tonight, he's not that's something that he's not looking for. He's part of that defensive front that is holding them to 23.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. And I think he's just going to get better and better as the season goes on, playing with these guys, playing alongside Aaron Donald and Greg Gaines, and he's going to get more comfortable. And, he's going to have that 3-sack game eventually. It's going to come out. But right now, I thought he played a great game. His containment of keeping Kyler Murray in the pocket, which allowed Donald to get, 2-3 sacks, whatever he finished with, was a big reason for that. And the fact that now you get Justin Hollins back, Terrell Lewis was inactive tonight because he was questionable throughout the week, but it's like you have Justin Hollins coming back. There's no rush to get Terrell Lewis back. So let him get fully healthy. You get these guys back for the playoffs. I mean, is there a better true pass rushing unit than if they're all healthy than Leonard Floyd, Justin Hollins, Terrell Lewis, and Vaughn Miller on the edge?
No,
those 4 guys?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I mean, those are 4 capable starters. 4 capable starters. I know Terrell Lewis has trouble staying healthy, but those are 4 capable starters on most teams, and you have 4 of them on one. Oh, yeah, and plus you have Aaron Donald and Greg Gaines in the middle. And Greg Gaines is filling in for Sebastian Joseph Day.
And maybe, maybe Akers is back as well.
Yeah, Akers is looking pretty strong.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that fairy tale, but either way.
You don't believe it? You think it's just all for show with the Instagram and crap that he's posting?
Yeah.
I think it'll be one of those he would only come back for the Super Bowl. Kind of like Whitworth last year. Remember Whitworth got hurt last year and he was making like crazy
progress. Do you really think the Rams will make the Super Bowl and want fresh legs and Cam Akers like that and not trust Sonny Michel, who probably has been the shoulders of their Super Bowl run?
I don't know. I'm not saying.
You think they just mix him in on some packages?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just saying you'd activate
even if they get there and he's ready to go, it'll be a whole dramatic, well, Sonny Michel has been the running back that has led the Rams to the Super Bowl. And now Sean McVay thinks Cam Akers can fill in and provide 44% of the snaps. You know what I mean? Like, no matter, like, if they don't win it and they do get Akers in, it'll be a whole death trap of like, oh, he should have trusted Michelle the whole time. Like, do you hear what I'm saying?
You think it would throw off the Cheesema bringing him back, basically?
Yeah, the mojo may destroy the whole team, is what I'm saying. Because mojo's important. Nick Foles has led a team to the Super Bowl, which just shows you that mojo is not like a factor you can't count out. Like Eli Manning has won 2 over Tom Brady and the Patriots. It's not just skill. Like, it's not all about skill.
I agree with you, but I think mojo is probably bigger in the sense of quarterback, which are the 2 you listed. I think at running back, you go into the Super Bowl with Sony Michel as your guy. If Cam Akers is healthy, why wouldn't you want him to get 6, 7, 8 snaps? I'm not saying take over, split the carries. If Sony's getting 20 to 25 carries and the game's going on like a smash mouth style, which a lot of Super Bowls have, specifically the Rams Super Bowl of 2018 when they really needed that, why wouldn't you want a change of pace guy that can go in there? But I hear what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It could falter.
I mean, that's like a future. Let's be happy.
It's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have.
Let's be happy that we're 9-4 and we have a win against a divisional opponent, and we could still take the NFC West.
Yeah, only one game back.
Not out of question. Next week we throw the Cardinals to the Jared Goff Lions, and we hope the Lions get a victory.
There you go. There's a way for you to plug Jared Goff. I knew we'd get it in here somehow. But hey, right after that though, the Cardinals play the Cowboys. So that could be a loss too, because there'll be
that's 2 losses in a row.
2 in a row. There you go. And we get the Seahawks, and then we get the Vikings, I believe. So
Vikings day after Christmas. That'll be a fun one.
That will be a fun one. Yeah, in Minnesota. Are we going to the Seahawks game next week?
No.
No,
I'll actually be at the Bengals Broncos game next week.
In Denver or Cincinnati?
In Denver.
What are you going out there for? Just
I feel like stopping there.
This, I don't remember.
Stopping there before I go home, like California, Colorado, then Jersey.
Gotcha. Are you driving?
I've never been to I've never been to Mile High, and I heard it's incredible from you, and I'm looking forward to going.
Yeah. Oh wait. So what's the date on that? That the
18th.
What are we on right now? Oh yeah. Okay. Because I'm leaving for Denver on the 21st, so we'll just miss each other.
Damn.
Heading out there for Christmas, but
19th.
You'll love it.
It's the 19th.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. I planned this trip to go see Mile High because I heard it was dope, and I figured this would be a really good game because the Bengals or the Broncos could win. Broncos will probably be home dogs for that one.
They might be. I mean, they're both same record, but Bengals, Joe Burrow, and it'll be interesting. I'm curious where that'll end up. We'll get the lines out here soon, but I don't know. I might go to the Seahawks game this Sunday.
Well, I mean, I think if I go to the Broncos game, you have to go to the Seahawks game. I think that's only fair, right?
Yeah, I think so. Anyone out there though that wants to go to the game that hasn't got tickets yet, got to check out our friends at TickPick. TickPick.com/LAFB, no fees. Fees are killer, man. StubHub kills you with fees.
It's like $70 worth of fees. I'm like, I just want to go see St. Vincent. Stop hitting me with these fees.
Yeah. TickPick, no fees. TickPick, TickPick.com/LAFB, 0 fees. I've compared them with Ticketmaster, StubHub. The price of the tickets the exact same, but then they end up saving $40, $50 because there's no fees. So head there if you want to go. I'd love to see you. I might have to go to the game. I think I might have to after this win. Might have to go see them play. That's a big one. If we beat the Seahawks, that's a big one.
I'm like counting it as a win already, which I hate, but I am. Because I mean, like, I'm already going to this game. I'm going to a Broncos game that is playing during the Rams game, and I hate to admit that, but it's true. So it's going to be a Rams game I watch after it's live, and I'm going to see the score. And I know in my mind's eye they beat this bad Seahawks team. McVay is better than to lose to a desperate Pete Carroll, even though I'm sure it'll be a kitchen sink game. Carroll's going to throw everything. 4th and 13, Russ is staying out there. You know what I mean?
They've been in win now mode for the last 3 weeks, and they've been winning.
Yeah.
So it'll be an interesting game. Always a fun one. Always a good one. But we'll get into it throughout the whole week, obviously, on both our shows. But I like the Rams. After this type of win, you can't have a letdown against the Seahawks. There's no way.
They're 9-4. They're 1 game behind Arizona. Like, they can get the NFC West, believe it or not.
Yeah. They can get the NFC.
Maybe.
I mean, they're 1 game behind the NFC. Obviously, they need things to happen, but no team's better than 10-3.
That's so true. Isn't that crazy?
And if the Buccaneers lose one, Rams have the tiebreaker because they beat the Buccaneers. Packers obviously have the tiebreaker over the Rams. The Packers are going to lose a couple.
And the Cardinals
not out of the realm.
Yeah, but the Cardinals have beaten more NFC West teams, right? So if it's a tiebreaker between us two, the Cardinals get it because we lost to San Francisco once. And them once.
The Cardinals' 3 losses are Carolina. I don't even know who the 3 losses
are. San Francisco and us?
Did they lose one to San Francisco?
No, I don't think so.
They were like bad losses. I remember. They were like, what is...
Packers,
okay. And so the Packers, the Carolina Panthers, which was a terrible loss. And then who was their third one? Those are 2 NFC teams.
Panthers? Did you say Panthers?
I said the Panthers, yeah. Oh, and the Rams.
Rams. Tonight.
Thank you, Chris. There we go.
Was he like Rams?
Rams? Yeah. So yeah, 3 NFC teams. Obviously, we're one of them. So, I mean, we'll see. If the Rams win out, I think they have a good shot of winning the entire NFC.
Yeah, but they have to beat Baltimore, Vikings, Niners, Seahawks. That's not an easy win out.
No, it's a gauntlet. But if they're able to win out, I think they can win the NFC in its entirety and get the number 1 seed. But either way, you just got to get to the dance. See what happens. The only team that scares me in the playoffs is the Packers because I just know the Rams do not play good and cold right now. But
Bucks.
The Bucks don't scare me. I don't know why.
January Tom Brady.
I don't know why. They just don't. And I know it's so dumb of me because
all of a sudden the Rams are in the AFC where January Tom Brady matters, you know? Like February Tom Brady is a whole different beast, but now we have to worry about the Man in the Arena documentary. Have you been watching it? Because it is amazing.
I haven't watched it yet. Is it good?
It is so good, and it's so hard to. Yeah, no, it's just so good. It's very good.
Is it good like the storytelling, or is it like the production value, or is it just like Tom Brady makes it so good?
Well, it's a combination of the production value, the storytelling, and the people that they interview for specific moments that make it sensational. Like it's, I mean, it's his dream team. What was the MJ documentary called? Spacing out. Last Dance. It's his last dance, and he's still in the league. Like he's literally an MVP right now, and he can still win a Super Bowl. But yeah, that's what it is, and he treats it like such. So it's very high production value and very fun to watch, especially when they're going through the giant Super Bowl victories, which is where they are right now. Episodes 4 and 5. Yeah.
Okay. Is it going to be how many episodes have they said? Like 8?
Probably 10. No, you know what? Okay. Probably 12.
12. Oh, TB12. Look at that. Well done.
All right, so we reached the 45-minute mark, and when we hit 45 minutes, we have to talk about
what?
LAFB. I was going to say great spot for an ad.
What? Okay. I think we hit all our ads already.
Did we hit all of them?
I think we hit them all.
Let's do let's say you wanted to be advertised by a company. Should I do one? I'll do an example.
Yeah, go for it.
So here's a shout out to Nintendo. Olimar in Pikmin is one of the greatest guys that exists. If you play Pikmin 3, you know how good Olimar is. The blue Pikmin are water repellent, and you should use them if you're going to be in a lakey, foresty area. That was my Nintendo ad read.
Okay, there you go. For free. Nintendo, you're welcome. That was for free. Next one's going to cost you, though. Next one's going to... Who does the ad reads for you guys? You or Dean, or do you switch off?
So if it's my bookie, it's me. And if it's the beer company, it's Dean. We agreed that if I was given the gambling advice, it would be more of a pull.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Nick's
picks, it's just the obvious. Yeah, Nick's picks.
How did Nick's picks do this weekend?
We didn't even put any out. But personally, good. But we didn't throw any Nick's picks out there as like Rams Brothers Nick's picks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Right,
no official tag.
Just wasn't the week for it. Just the episode was too jam packed. You couldn't fit it in.
A bit of both. My pick was Saints over the Jets, Titans over the Jags, and Seahawks over Houston. Ended up being plus 120. That was my only play of the week, and it was
Seahawks over Houston was plus 120.
Well, no, Seahawks over Houston.
All three of those parlayed.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Seahawks over Houston, Saints over Jets, and Titans over Jags. So it's just picking three bad teams and knowing that they were all going to lose, and just playing that. Because that's just how bad teams are. You can find the trends.
That's good though. It's plus 120. Usually that's like not like that because those are like gimme games almost. So well done.
Exactly. You just gotta put them together.
Yeah, there you go. All of you can win money. Easy money too. MyBookie.ag. Use the promo code LAFB. Easy money. Easy money. So, all right, brother. Well, let's wrap this up. What a great win though. Any final thoughts on this phenomenal Rams win at the desert over the Kyler Murray? The Cardinals were pretty relatively healthy on both sides of the ball for the most part compared to our Rams, and the Rams stuck it to them.
My final thoughts are I'm so happy Aaron Donald is a Ram.
Yeah.
Those are my final thoughts.
I don't think you need to say any more. That's a good way to sign it off. Dude is special. Dude leads this defense. You're missing your key cog and Jalen Ramsey, and this defense, I'm not saying they're better without him, but they almost like played up to their competition. They played better. Like they just played so well against this car. It was fun to watch. Honestly, Nick, it was a fun game after the last primetime games of the Niners and the Titans. This was just a fun game to watch, and finally on display what I've been saying forever about this Rams team. The nation finally saw it, and it's like, okay, yes, they are a good team. They just need to put all the pieces together, and they did it on Monday night, and I'm excited to see where they go. And I'm going to be at SoFi on Sunday. I'm going. Screw it. I'm going to be there.
Can you please go? Can you promise me that you go?
I'm going to be there. Even if I don't have a babysitter, Mia's coming with me, 18-month-old, and it's 70,000 seat stadium. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? I got to be there.
So I said it on Twitter tonight. I'll say it again. Stafford is blooming into the hunk that all you guys said he was.
I think with that, we'll sign off. Ryan Dyrud, LA Football Show, Nick Vez with the Rams Brothers Podcast. This is the LA Football Network. Nick, appreciate you, brother. Peace.
Hey, go Rams.